Oh no, my tire is bald. What am I gonna do? This sucks, I'm stuck here. Help!
Oh my God, is that a flat tire out in the
It
middle
is.
of nowhere?
It is!
What are we gonna do, guys? Thank God I got it covered.
Joe, you saved the day.
I always do, buddy. I always do. I got you, man. Can you show us how to fix this? Please, I've never done this before.
Yes, I will do it for you.
Okay,
and
cool.
for me to get my
Try-
here.
Okay, I got it, man. Let's get this thing done, man.
Alright guys, if you are ADV riders and you're out in the field, this is your biggest nightmare, a flat tire. And I'm going to tell you this is no big deal. We're going to take care of this right here in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to show you guys what tools you need, what techniques you need, and we're going to get this done, no problem whatsoever. Stick around. Alright everyone, so here we are, we're adventure riding, we're having a great time, and we have but this is no big deal whatsoever. We're going to take this tire out now, we're going to change the tube. Actually, I'm going to even go a step further. I do not have a flat tire, honestly. I just let the air out just to show you guys how to do it. And I need a new tire, so my dumbass carried a brand new tire out here in the middle of nowhere to change it. So this video is going to be in 3 sections. I'm going to do the first section where I'm going to take the wheel out. I'm going to remove the tube, something you would do if you had a flat tire. The next section is going to be changing the tire, and the third section is going to be putting it all together. So if you guys want to see me suffer misery changing that tire out here, you can watch it, but if not, there's going to be a timestamp in the video and you guys can skip it to just what you need to see. So let's start and get this bad boy out of here. So in another video I showed you guys my tools. These are the Eastbound wheel service and tire tools. These are amazing. I'm going to make a link to my previous video so you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. This stuff is lightweight, it's very durable, it's not cheap, but it works very, very well, and we're going to use these tools here today in order to make this work. Alright, so the first step is you need to loosen your lug nut. Don't leave that for last. Once the bike is up in the air, you know, on a stand, on a walk, whatever, that's going to be a pain in the butt. This is the first step you want to do, don't forget that. Whoa. Alright, we got the axle loose, and I always carry some wax with me. Make sure you put all your stuff safe away so it doesn't get dirty, it doesn't get lost. None of this stuff. Alright, so next we're gonna put the bike on the stand. So I do not have a center stand on my bike because for one, I didn't want to pay the money for it. Two, I didn't want the extra weight on it. So here's the Eastbound motor jack, and all this is a cute little tube. Comes with a few pins that you can enlarge like this, and once it's all set up, you're going to tilt the bike over, you're going to put this under the swing arm to keep your wheel up. So we're going to get this guy set now. Also, it comes with this little Velcro strap, and what you do is that you're going to put it on your front brake. So you're going to pull the front brake, you're going to put the strap around, and that's going to keep your brake engaged. So when you lift up the bike and the rear, so it doesn't move around. It's basically like a parking brake kind of deal. So here's the strap, pull the brake, keep nice tension on it, and there we go, parking brake. Alright, so next we set up the jack. The jack comes with these little pins. The jack got a bunch of holes in here. You can see this is all height adjustable, so you can adjust it to the height that you need it. Alright, so here's the jack, here's your swing arm. What you want to do is you want to tilt the bike over and then get this guy basically underneath here to keep the wheel up so you can get the wheel out of here. So this seems like way too high. We might need to go back and forth here a few times and adjust this, but that's no big deal. Alright, now comes the hard part. I'm going to push the bike over the side stand in order to get the wheel up and get this guy down there. There we go. Now the wheel is in the air, and now we can take the wheel out. All right, next step. Basically just get the axle out, get the chain off the sprocket, make sure your caliper doesn't fall apart, and you're good to go. Very important, wheel spacers. Don't lose them. And in most bikes there are different spacers on different sides, so make sure you remember which side goes which spacer. Alright guys, the wheel is out, and this actually was the easy part. Now the struggle starts. So we're gonna break the bead around the tire, and then we're gonna get the tube out. And then after that, I'm gonna beat the brake on the other side. I'm gonna get the wheel out. But as I said, I'm gonna show you guys till this part how you would get your damaged tube out, and then we take it from there. So even though if you have a flat, make sure you take the rough stem out, because sometimes it just makes it easier when you need to compress the tube in order to get it out of the wheel. Even though you have a little hole, it just helps a lot. And just the rough stem nut, make sure you take that off, because without that you won't get your tube out. All right, and next is my Eastbound Moto tire lever kit. There we go. So basically we got 2 spoons here, and we use the extension from the other kit to make them longer. And there we go, 2 spoons ready to go. And this is the bead breaker. Actually, I've never used this guy. I don't know if I'm gonna need it today or not, but it's good to have if you do need it. So first thing first, we're gonna start going in with our spoon and just trying to break the bead here. Oh. All right, that sits on there pretty tight. So let's see how this guy works. I said I've never tried this. Oh man, it works. You guys heard that pop? Just got it off the bead. Beautiful. Good thing to have. Nice. Oh yeah. The rest is easy now. Till here. All right, we're gonna do the same on the other side. I keep a rag under the center of the wheel so no dirt gets into the wheel bearings or the grease that's in there. It's just to keep stuff nice and clean. Let's see this side. And here's a pro tip. If you have problems getting the bead broken and you can get it done with your tools, if you're riding with anybody, you can use the side stand of your buddy's bike. You just point it right on the corner and give it a yank, and you can use the weight of your buddy's bike just pushing down to break that bead. That works too. All right, so we got the bead broken. Now we're gonna move one side of the lip of the tire over the wheel so we can get the tube out. Don't hurt yourself. That hurt. All right, one side is off, and now we can fish the tube out of here. If I find the rough stem. Oh, it already flopped inside. Well, that's easy. And there, guys, is your tube. So basically you would put this away now and get the new tube out and start putting stuff back together. This is an ultra heavy duty tube, so it's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit harder to manage around the wheel. If you want standard tubes or whatever, it's a little bit easier, just an FYI. Obviously this tube is good, so we're going to put it back in. And at this point now, we're going to start section 2 of the video where I'm going to swap the tire over. Alright, so we got one side of the bead off. I'm going to turn the wheel over now and do the other side, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to peel that wheel out of that tire. There we go. So as you can see, the wheel is now between the tire, and as crazy as this looks, this is really the easiest way to get the wheel off here. And all we got to do now is, with some brute force, just peel it out of there. There it is. Whew. All right, I'm toast, but we got the wheel off. Now I'm ready to put the new tire on. This is a 150 wheel, so it's quite a massive wheel to do this job. Honestly, when you're ATV riding, I mean, extreme rare cases, you're gonna destroy your tire that badly that you need to do a tire swap in the field. But if you do, now you see how it's done. Alright, so I just checked, and these tires are directional. They have little arrows here that tells you in which direction they're turning. So when you start putting back together, make sure that you get your tire on in the correct direction. And like everything else in life, if you put a little bit loop to it, stuff gets done way better and easier. So this is ProBuds High-Tech for low effort tire loop. Never used that stuff, so this is gonna be a first. Alright, and now we're gonna start putting the first side back on here. Just made sure that my tire rotation is correct. And yes, we're in South Carolina and it's August, so I'm sweating like a pig. Alright, first side is in. I'm going to turn it over and we're going to start fishing in the new, in your case, the new tube. Alright, the hardest thing here is going to be to get that valve stem back to the hole. Once you got that, you're pretty much home free. And we're going to try to do this at first. Alright, as you guys can see, I had to use my Leatherman in order to get the valve stem to the rim. It's no big deal, you should carry one of these anyways. Multifunction tool, has so many applications, and this time it helped me out here. Alright, now we're ready to lube up the second ride. It's time to put the second side back on. When you do this side, take your time, be careful. You do not want to pinch the tube. If you try to wrestle it and you're too fast and you pinch the tube, it's all over, then you're gonna start all over again. So take your time on this one. And we're gonna use this guy too. This is the Motion Pro Beat Buddy 2. I'm gonna show you guys how this works. So first you start with your spoons, pushing on a little bit. This guy just sits in here like this, and it's gonna help you keep the beat on while you work your way around it. For this wheel, it's a little big. It has a slot that you're supposed to put in the spoke, but since this is a pretty wide wheel, we'll not be able to put that. So we're just gonna sit it in there, and that's it. And I'm gonna start working. I don't know if you can see that, but that beat buddy is holding this part in. If I wouldn't have that, it would keep popping up off as I keep going around. So this is pretty good to have. Can you do it without it? Yes, you can. Does this make it life way easier? Yes, it does. All right, so now I'm gonna have to push down here because it's getting pretty tight. So I'm gonna try to release a little bit of stress here. There we go. And we keep going. Boom. There we go. That is a success. So in your case, you change the tube. In my case, I changed the whole tire. I'm gonna get my air pump out now, plug it in, put some air in it, and get the wheel back in. So this air pump, I got it off Amazon. This one plugs directly to the bike, so it uses the bike's power in order to fill up the tube. I went with this way because I didn't want to mess with having to charge batteries and forgetting about it and all that stuff. Plus, this thing pumps up to 120 psi, so this equals a big shop compressor that you would have at home. So I'm going to use this guy and pump this tire up now. Oh shit. All right, so I got my air up to pressure. I want 27 psi. Everybody wants different pressure for different type of terrains or pavement, off-road, so don't go by that. I just use 27 and I just leave it there. I'm lazy. I don't like airing up and down tires. This is the good middle way that I find out that works for me. So tires on, air's in. I'm gonna put the wheel back in and we're good to go. All right, now just in reverse order, just the way I took the wheel out. And that's gonna be it. All right guys, and that's it. So we changed the inner tube and, well, I didn't, but that's how you would do it. I changed the tire, I got my new tire on. I'm ready to roll. As you can see, this is a one-man deal. You can do this on your own. Of course, if you have some buddies with you, it makes life much easier if you have a hand. But I'm just showing you that this is easy to do once you know how to do it. So here are my recommendations. One, practice this at home. Don't try to do your first flat or your tire change in the wild, because it can get a little difficult or frustrating. So you do want to do this at home, get a feel for your tools, figure out what tools you actually need, what work and what doesn't. So next thing is, you guys saw I had that motor stand, that motor jack. There are different options. I highly recommend you guys getting one. If not, there are options like finding a tree log and lifting your bike on top of there, which is pretty difficult to do, especially if you ride a bigger bike. There's another option with a strap where you find a tree and you basically strap the handlebar to the tree and cinch it together and move the bike over the side stand. That's another way to do it. But if you do have the motor jack with you, you guys saw it makes life quite a bit easier. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope that you learned something and that it inspired you to go a little bit deeper into the wild and not have the fear of being stuck with a flat, because now you know how to do this stuff. You can do this. If I can do this out here, so you can you. So like always, thanks for watching. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and hit the like button. I see you guys in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.